guys, welcome to Wake Alive. I'm Kayla Kinnear. I'm here with Dan Selke. We're getting in the holiday spirit over here.
Merry Christmas, y'all. It's Christmas time. Game
Y'all.
of Thrones is coming to the year, and I thought we'd just take a minute and talk about the year in Game of Thrones. Because it's been a good year for the show, Kayla.
It has.
It really has. And of course, we'll get some spoilers, and we'll go through Kayla's journey through Game of Thrones. She just watched the gods, the old gods and the new. Not a bad episode. But just, it had a very good year this year, Kayla, and you're pretty new to the series.
I am.
What do you think so far? You've been watching for like, you're halfway through season 2.
Yes, I get it. I get why people love this show. Because there's great storylines, there's good characters, there's, I don't know, you want to see what happens next.
Yeah, I think it does have a
Is
big
your favorite
drive.
character going to survive the end of the season or episode? You never know.
Who's your fave so far?
I'm a big fan of Arya. Love Arya. I really like Tyrion.
Sure.
Those are probably my two favorites. I'm also a fan of Robb. He had a bigger part in this episode.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm glad you're into it, because frankly, it could have gone really badly going through every episode of the season if you had hated the show.
I can't hear very well in this. It's covering my ears.
Then take it off.
No, I want to be festive. Just
Anyway,
speak up.
the year in Game of Thrones, you know, I think we can say that season 6 was a bit of a rebound in terms of perception, plaudits from critics. Season 5 kind of, it didn't go over as well with a lot of the fans. Season
Really?
6, I mean, it was fine. It won tons of Emmys.
Is this a show that ever drops off with the season? You know how it'll be really good at first and there's a lot of buzz, and then the next, the third or fourth season is just kind of blah?
You will hear different things from people. I don't think so. I mean, what I was going to say, just the ratings keep growing. The season 6 was watched more than any of the seasons before, so it's still going there. It's getting more award recognition. Just said it is now the most award-winning Emmy drama for Emmys in history.
Wow.
It's now within spitting distance of Saturday Night Live for the most Emmy-awarded show in history.
Okay.
Although again, even if it does beat Saturday Night Live just keep going for 10 years and just beat it anyway. And all kinds of places are putting season 6 on the top of their best TV of 2016 list. TV Line, Empire, Flickering Myth, all at the top of it. Multiple outlets are naming Battle of the Bastards as the best episode of the year. Entertainment Weekly and Pace put number 2 on their list. Time and TV Line thought The Winds of Winter, the finale, would deserve that honor. And in my opinion, no. I think the tone changes a bit once you get into season 4, I think. And it's kind of, it becomes a bit more of a flashy show.
In season 4?
I think so.
Okay.
And through to season 6 where we are now. It's a little, it's still dense and complicated and lots of different characters, but I think, I'm not really sure why, just because they have more resources, but I think you get a little less Byzantine story and a little more easily digestible stuff. A little more. I don't know if anybody agrees with that, but that's what I've always thought.
Let us know. We've got Mark Carmen manning the chat.
People are texting, what does Byzantine mean?
Complicated, complex, maze-like.
Was that their question
you?
or yours?
That was my question.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I actually didn't know either.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. But anyway, great year for Game of Thrones. Great season, 2017. Hopefully be even better. Season 7.
I have a
airing
question.
summer. Yes, what's this?
Do you have a favorite episode ever?
I guess I do. I mean, you've watched now for a while. Don't they kind of blend together a little bit? It's not
Yes.
the kind of show where it's at least in the early seasons, where the episodes kind of are, you remember that one. It's not like the
They
Friends
do. They all
where
kind of because the Friends, it's the one with.
yeah,
the one
where they have that game where they're all guessing each other.
They're all
things.
called the one with, so you know immediately which episode that was and what happened in it.
I think that's part of what sets Game of Thrones apart, in that it hasn't really done before. It really is one long story.
Just like the book.
Just like the book. And there are episodes that stand out. I mean, we remember the one where Ned dies, or you remember...
I remember?
I said you will
Dan,
remember.
why'd you take me back there?
You might remember the one, I don't know, this one, the one where there's the big riot in King's Landing. But generally, I do think...
They missed Joffrey.
They did miss Joffrey. I'm sorry he didn't die in the riot.
Me
Tyrion
too.
slapped him.
Yes, I enjoyed that.
But I do think it blends together a little more than a lot of shows. It's less discreet. I think that's fine. I think it's interesting. I think it's not a thing that
That's a
happens
good
a lot on
point.
TV.
True.
Anyway, now that we've gone over the year in Game of Thrones, let's check in with Season 7 spoilers. That was a boombox playing the ESPN theme
Sports
song?
Center, yeah.
Sports Center theme song.
Good job.
Thank you. Anyway, from the season 7 set, there are still things happening. The crew's about to go into hiatus for a couple of weeks for Christmas. They're getting off, which is
good.
nice.
They get a
go
little
home,
break.
have a break, everybody. But there were a couple of shoots toward the tail end of the last week. For example, Jeremy Podeswa, the director of the premiere and the finale, was in Dubrovnik, Croatia, filming scenes for King's Landing. And very importantly, they were having some fake snow in the area. See it right here, a little fake snow going around. And that's kind of important because
Winter.
as we know, winter is here, finally. Took long enough. And there has never been snow in King's Landing. So it's getting all the way down there. It's not only here, it's actually affecting the entire, continent of Westeros.
Okay.
Which is important because, winter, they always talk about
They've
how
been
bad it's
talking
going
it up.
to be.
Yeah, it's about time.
So that will change the way they decide things. They'll change what they can do, like the characters, like what decisions they'll make in terms of where to go, what to do, whom to fight, how to do it.
Yep.
So that's pretty exciting. We also have, in Dubrovnik, they stopped by, this was in a different city in Spain that I'm totally blanking on the name of. Are you going to suggest it?
Madrid.
Thank you, but no. Elsewhere in Spain.
Baracos?
No.
Wasn't that a place?
Yes, it was Caceres.
What? I was right.
Caceres, yes.
Oh, how does
Thank you. Caceres. I researched that. I heard like a Spanish guy pronounce it. Definitely Caceres.
Oh,
Caceres.
we were saying it wrong.
Yes. Anyway, they filmed there too, and we have a shot here of John Bradley, who plays Sam, and Hannah Murray, who plays Gilly, were spotted on site, riding a little carriage. Last we saw them, they'd traveled all the way down from the Wall to the southern tip of Westeros to Old Town, so Sam could study to be a maester. And
I hang out at Old Town too.
is that where you live, Old Town? No. Old Town, Chicago. But we left them and put in. They were among the happier people at the end of season 6. They were doing pretty good. And I like this. We got Sam, Gilly, and baby Sam all in a carriage. Wonder where they're going.
Cute.
Are they leaving the city? We're not entirely sure, but director Matt Shackman was on scene. He's filming episodes 4 and 5, so whenever this happens, it'll happen around then. I wonder if they're taking a turn around the city in a little horse-drawn carriage, or if they're getting out of Dodge.
Your guess is better than mine.
It is. Are there any comments, questions? Do you have any ideas for what's going on here? Viewers, we'd love to hear from you. Anything? Mark, Carmen?
A lot of people really like you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Cool, thanks.
And hang on a second, Dan.
We like you.
Yes. Joanne Dunning, when we finally see the show this summer, it'll be good to see
This summer.
the snows of winter is coming.
It will be great. I like that just because it's a really visually opulent show, and I think that'll give them kind of a new palette to work with, like a new prop and a new effect. It'll be exciting to watch that, and it'll actually affect what happens. I mean, I think the episode you just saw, there's a lot of snow in that one.
Yeah.
Jon Snow north of the wall. It looked cold, didn't it? My God.
I went to the Bears game last Sunday and I thought that was cold. This looked worse.
I'd be sleeping out it with some weird woman tied up. It must have been horrible. One last spoiler before we move on.
Hold on
We have a question?
second, Dan, Angela wants to know why
Hey, Angela.
so long to wait, though. I think Angela speaks for a lot of people.
Yeah, why so long to wait? That's ties into the snow thing. This season, the production decided to wait and film later in the year so it could actually film while snow is falling.
Production quality.
Production quality, yeah, they want it to be realistic. And actually, I'm listening to a lot of all the commentaries so we can write a big post on it for Wick. And there's like a lot of fake snow in these scenes, and it's soap bubbles, they say. It's all these soap bubbles going around.
So was
Or
waiting
it's
necessary?
inserted digitally, and I think, well, maybe they got sick of that and just like, let's just wait for the real thing. God, this is horrible.
Julie Davies says, Merry Christmas, Dan and Kayla, and man behind,
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Julie.
Christmas.
and all the other viewers. Thank you, Julie.
We're glad you stuck with us, Julie. I know that you've watched a bunch of times, so we're glad you're here.
We love you, Julie.
Anyway, one more spoiler before we get on with it.
Yes, thank
There's
you.
filming happening near Belfast in a big icy set at Wolf Hill Quarry. and actor Joseph Mall, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, who plays Benjen Stark, was spotted in the area having dinner with some of the other cast members. Now he plays Benjen Stark. We last saw him saving Bran in season 6 Beyond the Wall. It looks like he'll be coming back. Don't know what capacity, but look out for Benjen sightings in season 7. So someone's going beyond the wall and someone's running into Benjen. That'll be exciting. Do you remember Benjen at all?
I don't.
Yeah. You met him in the first, I think, 2 episodes.
Okay.
He was Bran and Sansa and Arya's uncle, Ned's brother.
Okay.
He was in the Night's Watch, and he left really early. And it's fine. It just happened
So he's only been in 2 episodes?
I think only 2.
Okay, good.
The very first one and then the third one or something. And then he left Beyond the Wall and he hasn't come back. That's part of the reason why they're all going north of the wall, to find what happened to him.
Oh, okay.
Intrigue. Anyway, he'll be in the mix. And before we get into Kayla's journey through Game of Thrones, really quick, the CEO of HBO, Richard Plepner, dropped a tiny hint about a potential Game of Thrones spin-off. They're always talking about this. It never seems to really go anywhere, but everyone always asks them about it because they all want to know so badly. And he just said that HBO is having embryonic conversations about expanding the Game of Thrones brand. Embryonic conversations is his phrase. Which, I mean, not a ton we can do with that news. And they said that right now they're just focused on ending the show, making it good, which I think is a good idea. But I think Game of Thrones will be the first property HBO spins off, just because it's been so successful. They're going to want it. They've never done it. They didn't make a Sopranos sequel, Wire sequel, True Blood sequel, whatever, but I would bet good money that they will try a spin-off with Game of Thrones.
I bet you're right.
Me too. And now, let's get into the latest episode that you watched, Kayla. Season 2, Episode 6, The Old Gods and the New.
The last Kayla Knows Nothing in 2016.
It is. We're going to be off next week, by the way, while we're both away visiting family for the holidays. So this will be the last episode we cover in 2016. Let's make it a good one.
Let's do it.
Okay. Anything jump out at you from this one, Kayla?
I feel like a lot happened
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
in each place.
Why don't we start with Theon Greyjoy?
I was going to say, let's talk people I don't like now. I do not like Theon.
No, I mean,
What a traitor.
What a traitor. I mean, he
Turns his
invaded
back on
Winterfell.
those that brought him in and loved him and cared for him and raised him.
We've been talking about his kind of predicament, right? He is torn between these 2 loyalties.
I think he's doing the wrong thing.
By storming Winterfell.
Absolutely.
Something I noticed, were you confused at all at the beginning when he's just in Winterfell? There's no scene of him
Right, how'd he get there?
grappling in.
They just show up and take over.
I mean, he says that he grappled in with ropes, but they don't actually show it. And that was the reason he attacked the other place, to draw the soldiers away so it was undefended.
Oh, I see.
But they don't really show it. And I remember when I watched this first, I was like, did I miss an episode or something? They were just kind of there.
Right.
I
was
think
funny.
I think it's probably because they didn't have the money to do a big action sequence at this time. It's still pretty early. They don't. At this point, Game of Thrones isn't like the freaking phenomena it is now. They only have normal TV money. I'm guessing they couldn't show all that, but it happened, and the thing that's in there is.
I don't think he's a very strong leader.
Neither do I.
He doesn't have a lot of confidence. I don't think he's ever really been in charge, and he doesn't know how to handle it.
He
Clearly
lets his
with
guys
the
push him
beheading.
around. He's like, oh, you have to behead him. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. And then the other guy's like, don't behead him. And he's like, I'm nervous. And he does it, and he makes a botch of it.
It was bad.
It's
not the way you want
gross.
a beheading to go.
No, in public, everyone's around him, he's looking. And he knew that guy. I mean, that's the guy who trained him, taught him how to fight growing up at Winterfell, just like he did Robb and Jon and stuff.
Yes.
Do you have any sympathy for him?
No.
Okay.
And I just want Robb and his army. I want Robb to get him alive, like he said, and to look
Right.
him in the eye and to ask him why.
Robb was very, very mad.
Yes.
I mean, the thing that I liked was that he just was always yelling, and that's the thing you do when you're not really in charge. You're just kind of screaming, and you look kind of silly and childlike. It's sad, almost. But how about Osha going undercover?
I did not see that coming, and I loved it.
You didn't? So you thought she was really going over to the dark side?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't figure out why she would leave Bran and
His little brother Rickon.
Hodor. Yeah. I loved what she did at the very end. That was cool.
Yeah, seduced him and then slipped away, killed a guy,
Now
and
they've
let them
escaped.
out. Which makes him look even worse.
Yes.
Theon.
He's not doing a very good job.
Do you... yeah, we have any
Someone
questions?
says that Theon learned a hard lesson.
He learned a very hard lesson. Maybe. We'll see if he learns a hard lesson. Remember, Kayla has not seen the rest of it. Do you think Theon's is going to be successful here? I mean,
I sure hope not. I think he deserves nothing.
I think it's a fair assessment. It looks like his rule is going very poorly. It's the one episode and it's already going very badly. He's losing his hostages. He can't behead people.
Sleeping around
Just with random people who then betray him. It looks like it's in over his head.
Yes.
But we'll see as that goes forward. Let's go beyond the wall where we meet another new character because the show is full of new characters. What's your impression of Ygritte, the red-headed wildling?
She's a feisty one.
She is. I like her.
Did John purposely not behead her?
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay,
he
'cause that
wanted
was
to.
a
He
big
just.
miss.
You mean you didn't?
Like his aim was
Oh, yeah.
way off.
Yeah. I don't think he could go through with it.
So what was his plan? To
That's
do
the
with
thing.
her?
What was his
Because
plan?
they just started running after each other.
That's the question. She just starts running. He runs after her.
I thought he was just going to let her go and be like, let's pretend I killed you and go our separate ways.
But remember, if he did that, she would go tell her wildling buddies. That's the reason they're out here to find these people, and then they would come and kill them all.
So those aren't White Walkers.
No, White Walkers are the demon people. These are just people that happened to live on the other side of the wall when the wall went up.
Okay.
And now they're all massing and they're trying to come south. Like Osha is a wildling. She
Right.
made it south of the wall.
Yes.
Ygritte's another wildling. And part of the reason they're here is to figure out what they're all doing. Like, why are they all gathering?
Oh.
And they're enemies. So he couldn't let her go or else she would get back. Did he make a mistake? Should he have just killed her?
I don't think he should have.
Because he is in a
He's
bad
a
situation
compassionate
now.
person.
He's a compassionate person.
Now he's got baggage.
How do you mean?
Well, he's got to keep her with him.
Oh, like literal baggage, yes.
Literal baggage, yes. But I think their relationship's funny. I think she's trying to seduce him, keep him close, get in his head.
She seems to kind of, she's definitely trying to get in his head. I mean,
I can't tell if she's being serious or if she's like doing all this to trick him.
no, I get you. I mean, I'm guessing you would do whatever it took to get out of being captured by a guy who wants to kill you if you were in the situation. So I agree.
But
it's
he's
hard to
easy on
tell.
the eyes, so it's fine.
It is. And it was pretty funny. I remember that bit where she's like trying to cuddle up to him and he's like, stop it. She's like, I'm not doing anything. Why?
Yeah, that was funny.
So we'll see what happens next with those two. I like your grip. And she'll stick around for a while, so get used to it.
Oh, good.
Okay, let's move on to King's Landing, where there is a pretty brutal scene. There's a riot in King's Landing. How horrible.
This was a bloody scene.
It was pretty brutal.
I wish they would have killed Joffrey instead of just
Let me ask you this.
cow poop to his face.
Could they have avoided the riot? Like, because the guy throws the cow poop at Joffrey's face,
Well, yeah,
hits him in the
'cause
face.
the whole reason it started is he said kill everybody. Like he didn't have to say that, and
Right.
riot probably wouldn't have broken out.
And then Tyrion slaps him around for it a bit, which is...
That was my favorite part.
Everyone loves that part, yeah. Everyone loves when Joffrey gets slapped. And, I mean, he
happens
has it
more.
coming. It's not like he doesn't.
Right.
Do you think that'll come back to haunt Tyrion, though?
Probably because Joffrey's evil, like, evil little brat.
Well, the question here is, like, why do people follow him? I mean, he's clearly incompetent and mean. But
Joffrey?
there were some of the
Because
knights who were
he's-
like, I take orders from the king, not from you.
Are they required to take orders from him?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, he's the king. You take orders from the king.
I hope they turn on him eventually.
I mean, I think one of the things the show kind of looks at is like the power you're given versus the power you earn. And
He hasn't earned any.
it's kind of like Theon. Like, Theon's supposed to be in charge too, but no one respects him.
Right.
Like, Joffrey has a bit more of a big pedigree. He's like literally a king, so people respect him a little more, but I think he can lose the respect. Like, if he does enough crappy things.
Right.
The people clearly don't care for him. They're willing to riot and throw poop at him and kill all those people around him and like maul the priest guy and tear his arm off.
Oh yeah, that was gross. And he didn't even care what was happening with Sansa.
He didn't. I mean, not terribly unexpected, but he didn't.
I did not like that part.
That was awful. I was watching that again. It's like, oh, this is so brutal, where Sansa runs away and gets assaulted, but she gets saved, thank
Yes,
God,
she does.
by the Hound. What's your read on the Hound?
Well, I know like Tyrion was like, thank you for doing that. And he's like, I didn't do it for you.
But he didn't do it for Joffrey either, because Joffrey didn't care what happened to Sansa. So who did he do it for?
That's a good point. I don't know. Himself?
Maybe. I mean, remember back in season 1 when Joffrey showed Sansa hit Ned's head in a spike?
Yes.
And the Hound was the one who's like, just do what he wants and you won't get hurt. Just go along with
Oh
it.
yeah. Ooh, I hope they team up later on and go against Joffrey.
It could definitely happen. The Hound might have some hidden recesses of decency, even though he looks super gross.
Play the game and then go
But
against
I mean, he is also clearly a killer. I mean, he like disemboweled that dude.
Right.
So there's lots of levels. Anything else happen there? Did you get what was happening at the harbor?
The harbor. Oh, with
Why they were there?
No. Was that when Tyrion and Cersei were having their conversation?
Yeah.
Is she gonna take his girl away?
I mean, she said she would like to. And the reason she's doing, because remember, a couple episodes back, Tyrion traded, do we have a question?
Angela says,
Hello, Angela.
good night, guys. Merry Christmas. This 65-year-old needs her sleep, so I figured you guys could say good night to Angela.
All right. Good night, Angela, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yes.
We'll see you in the new year.
Never seen that before. Nicole says, the Hound is my favorite character, and that the Hound saves the day, and that the Hound is really complex.
The Hound is really complex. He's a great character, and I think we'll hopefully get to know him better.
So far, he's
as
a
it
man
goes
of
on.
little words, but a lot of action.
Yeah, which is fine. We're
Yes.
of action. But remember a couple episodes back when Tyrion made that complicated deal with the three, I think with like Varys, Littlefinger, and Pycelle, to trade Cersei's daughter to marry her to one of three people.
Yeah.
This is the follow-through. So she's getting married off to a place called
so that's
Dorne.
what kind of brought on Cersei
Yeah.
being like, I'm gonna take your girl away.
So she thinks that he's stealing her daughter, even though, Stannis coming to the city to attack it. Probably not it's not a bad idea to get the hell out of there,
Right.
like for a little girl like that. But Cersei, is an
Evil.
angry person, so maybe she doesn't see it that way. Oh, one other little bit. Sansa and Shae are getting a little closer.
I like that.
That was a nice scene,
Yes. I'm glad they're bonding.
yeah. Last time
She's
they
a
were...
girlfriend.
Exactly. I mean, she needs a
House.
friend, doesn't she? Good Lord, if anybody
Someone she can
is
confide in and
somebody, because there's no one there for
No,
her.
no
She's
one on her
very,
side.
very alone. Moving on to Karth, the city where Daenerys is hanging out.
yes.
What does she have to do? Because she can't get anybody to listen to her and give her her ships, her jewels, whatever she needs to get across the sea and take the throne.
Girlfriend is in a rut, and now she's got her dragon stolen.
Who do you think did it?
The creepy guy in the episode before with like the
The
white...
blue lips?
Yes, the blue lips, creepy face.
You got it. I mean, it's funny because they didn't even see him, but that's it,
He's had the thing over his head with the box of dragons.
right? So how will she get out of that one? I mean, killed a bunch of her people. She doesn't really have any allies
where's
except
her
for...
guy?
Oh, Jorah?
We
He
didn't
wasn't
see him.
around. He's still around. I don't know why he
I think
wasn't there.
Jorah will save the day.
Okay, hopefully. And finally, the Riverlands, where Rob's at his
We also
camp.
have this one.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it. We'll
Okay.
play it for last. That's a pretty good bit.
Yeah, okay.
So Rob is flirting with this hot field nurse, Talisa, and his mom comes back, totally notices immediately. I liked that. And kind of talks him off it a little bit. Is she right to do that?
I think so. I think he needs to focus, and he's in charge of a lot of people, and they need.
Also,
they
he's
have a task at
engaged,
hand.
remember?
Oh, he is. I forgot about that.
Right, because that horrible old man, they promised to
been-
marry one of his
yes.
daughters to get his allegiance.
And she said that one of them is good looking.
Yes, one of them is good looking.
Okay. Oh shoot, I like them together. The
I mean-
nurse and Rob.
So do you think that he should just heed the advice and not go for her? Or
Not
do you
go for
think,
the nurse?
or do you think that true love should conquer all?
True love conquers all.
If that's true love. I mean, right now they're just kind of flirting, but
Yeah. He doesn't seem into the girl he's promised to, so
he hasn't even met the girl he's promised to.
that too. Yeah, I want to see what happens with the nurse.
Okay, we'll go forward with that. I would advise caution. I mean, remember, he is, I don't know, perception is important, and if the king promises to marry somebody and
That
then just
could have
turns
a
around,
repercussion, yes.
it might offend that old dude.
Okay. True.
But then again, the heart wants what the heart wants. You can't just tell the heart, shut up, and no, you can't.
Is that a Selena Gomez song?
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. I accidentally quoted Selena Gomez. Good for me. And finally, let's go to Harrenhal and Arya's continued adventures in subterfuge.
I like her journey the most.
Why is that?
Because you don't know what's going to happen. She's kind of in hiding. Well, and Littlefinger knows her, right? So the whole time she had a...
That was the
dodge.
question. So Littlefinger
Haven't they
came.
met?
They have never shared a scene together, but they were in the city at the same time.
Okay.
So that's kind of the question, I think.
He looked at her like he was trying to figure out who she was, maybe knew her. I don't even know if he got a good look at her face, though.
I mean, she was trying to keep her back to him, right?
Right.
Because she knew who he was.
Yes.
But I mean, it is possible he didn't because, he sees a lot of people. He's an important man. And he didn't have any one-on-one time with Sansa or Arya. So maybe he saw her from a distance. But it's ambiguous. Do you think he recognized her?
I think that he knows more than he leads on, so
Yeah,
possibly.
good point. If he did, would that be bad for her?
Yeah,
Probably. But remember,
they're planning an attack against her family.
they are, but he's a slippery guy himself, Littlefinger. I wouldn't put it past him to, I don't know, if he did, use that to some other, maybe ally with somebody else.
True.
But we'll see. How about
see.
Tywin? Does Tywin like Arya? I got the impression that he kind of does.
I think they have a friendship.
Like, he's like, you're a sharp little thing, Arya. That was kind of cute.
And then she asks about his dad to kind of get him off track, so she steals a note about what they're going to do, their
Exactly.
plan. But no, I like their little bond they formed.
Yeah, me too, which is funny because it's not in the books at all. This is pretty much invented for the show, which is a fun little side note. And then she talks to her assassin man, Jaqen H'ghar, kills the guy before he can tattle on her to Tywin.
That was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Opens the door, collapses with a dart in his neck.
Exactly. He's good, that guy.
He is. He's following through.
He works quickly. So she has one more kind of death wish left. Who does it go to?
I think Tywin.
Even though they're buddies?
I think so. I mean, when it comes to her family,
Right, Tywin is trying to kill Robb. And I enjoyed Tywin when he was like admonishing his incompetent underlings. Like, send the letter to the wrong place, you idiot.
yeah,
That was cute. Like, they're both smart people. I mean, that's why they connect.
who's going to outsmart the other?
Exactly. Oh. We'll see in the new year in 2017 when we get back to all this. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Oh, and before you go, here's a little musical to play you out. Merry Christmas, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.